T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Own it, own it, own it, Kong. I own it. It did.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. We are here for another edition of Dishing Indies, and we're sure going to get down to it. I'm Emily May, and I also have my amazing co-host, Katrina. And welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk, Dishing Indies. And we're going to talk about all these matches coming up. Some are happening right now as we speak. How are you doing, Katrina?
I'm okay. Hectic day, but I'm all right.
I know, right? It's been a lot going on. So we've been trying to do every 2 weeks to just kind of catch up on everything. And because a lot of the time, there's a lot of shows that happen at the same time. And then we got to catch up on results. And sometimes there's drama that happens after the show, and there's a build and lead. So yeah, we've been catching up a lot on a lot of women's wrestling. But before we kind of dive into some of the shows that happened in the last week or so, and some of the shows that are happening this weekend, how are you feeling, Katrina, about the women's wrestling landscape right now? There's been a lot going on, a lot of excitement. How are you feeling in general about it all?
I'm feeling good. I'm liking what we're seeing. I'm liking that we're seeing more women's wrestling. I think that's needed. I was just talking to somebody recently, and it was like, they just like to watch women wrestling because it's usually more entertaining. And, I can't really disagree. A lot of times, women really try to show off and show out. And so I like what we're getting so far, and I'm hoping we continue to just keep moving forward in the right direction with women's wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what's a testament, if you all have not gone and watched Women's Wrestling Talk on our Twitch channel, you can see that in the previous Dishing Indies conversations, we've talked about a lot of the same wrestlers that have come up on multiple platforms across the independent circuit. It's incredible to see them do amazing things. And we just continue to talk about these amazing women that are making an impact and multiple promotions, multiple companies, and we're all for it. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Is we're going to kind of dive into some of the matches that are happening this week, some of the matches we're looking forward to, some of the matchups that some of the wrestlers that I'm getting to know, that Katrina's getting to know. And we're also going to talk about a show that you're a part of, Katrina, which is coming up shortly. So when we get to that, I want to hear all about it. So I'm excited to dive in. And so this is Dishing Indies. And so first up, we're going to talk about New Texas Pro Wrestling. And this was a match that just was announced and draped up as the show. And we have Delilah Doom it's going to be on IWTV. And for New Texas Pro Wrestling, Delilah Doom versus Rachel Rose. And for the Women's World Championship. And so this is a big deal, a big matchup. And I wanted to get your thoughts on, this matchup is really, really interesting. I've seen both of these ladies in action and have my thoughts, but I wanted to, we have 2 weeks before this big matchup, and what did you think, Katrina, of this big announcement?
I think it's exciting. I've also seen both of them their matches before, and I know their styles is a bit different. Even the personas they are in wrestling is a bit different, and so I'm always interested in seeing situations when the wrestlers kind of like how would they meet when they meet in the ring, how would it play off when you have a gimmick that's a certain way or a persona that's a certain way or a moveset that might not, you can't see if you're not sure if it'll match up until you see it. And so I like it. It's also always exciting to see a woman's title on the line, because a lot of times those matches are the matches that they really go all out, especially when you're trying to either get the title, like the route to becoming champion, or you're trying to retain the championship that you already earned. And so I think it's a good matchup. I think it's exciting, and I think both ladies are absolutely fabulous in ring. And so I'm excited. I think it's going to be a really interesting match.
Yeah, this is the first time that the Queen of House Rose is putting her newly won Deadlock Pro Women's World Title on the line, and so this is her, her first title defense. Delilah Doom is just a ball of energy, a ball of aerobics and energy and exercise. She did give me a lesson in aerobics, and it was a tough one. So I think there's definitely going to be some competition and some hard work ahead, because she's going to definitely get your heart rate up in that ring. So that's going to be some tough competition. So I'm interested to see what happens there. So I know we've had this conversation about whether we should include AEW Dark, but I think that's happening right now as we speak. But I have to say that some of these matchups that were announced are really excited, and I'm going to have to go back and watch. And so, Katrina, I wanted to bring some of these up and get your thoughts on these matchups and any call outs on these. So we had Kayla Ross versus Avery Bro, and I'm going to go through them real quick because there's a lot. Emi Sakura versus Renee Michelle. We have Charlotte Renegade versus Sky Blue, one of my favorites. And we have Robin Renegade versus Willow Nightingale. This one made me so excited, and I can't wait. I'm like gonna have to stream. I'm streaming both at the same time, you guys. We got to do both. And then Abaddon versus Mafiosa. Abaddon's coming back. She's coming back. This is her big moment, and so I can't wait to go back and watch that one. And that is what those are some of the AEW Dark previews for this week. How do you feel about any of these matchups, Katrina? Because this is an excitement. I know we were talking about more women's wrestling matches on AEW Dark. I know we want more on Dynamite, but I think this is an incredible start.
Yeah, I'm excited. I was very fortunate to interview with Avery a few weeks ago, and she's like super awesome, and like she's kind of new into wrestling, but I like what she brings. I love her energy and everything, and the matches I have been able to see of hers have been like super awesome, and so I'm excited for that. And then I also got to interview Renee Michelle, and also a really super awesome lady, super talented. And so, and then Amy Scruz, I love her. And then you have like the Renegade Twins, separate matches, but they're still there nevertheless. You got Willow Nightingale, just so many different like women, different like styles, just super badassery that is just like yes. And so usually why I wish AEW put more women matches on Dynamite, they do deliver for the most part with putting a lot of women's matches on AEW Dark. And so for that, I'm I appreciate that for them with everything with considering, but I do wish they would put more of them on Dynamite. But I do like that we are still getting some women's matches in the first place. I'm hoping that at some point, Tony, before the end of 22. Like, get these ladies on Dynamite. Let them be on TV and not just on the YouTube channel. Nothing wrong with YouTube. You know, we all done the YouTube before, but we want to give the ladies some more exposure. And so I feel like he needs to work on. I feel like I say this all the time, but I feel like he needs to work on incorporating more women on the Dynamite show and not just putting them in AEW Dark. But I am happy.
I love this. I love this full like breadth of talent that's coming through for these matches. Willow Nightingale is a huge AEW favorite. We've seen her across the indie circuit, where she's done some incredible matches the last few months. I'm just super excited for her. I also am excited to see the Renegade Twins kind of in different ways, because they both they work together really well, but I like how they can work separately too. I think it's important to see that and see them kind of stretch what they can do. Abaddon, I have to say, has been working so hard and really focusing on her work and what she wants to do in the ring and how she, is presenting herself. And so I'm excited for her to come back and be a part of this series this week. And again, Sky Blue is also another favorite that we've seen grow. And I'm sorry, my cat is stuck. Hold on. There you go. Sky Blue is a favorite, a big fan favorite. And, I've saw her kind of blossom in the indie circuit and then work her way up to AEW. And it's been incredible to watch. Any other thoughts?
No, I'm just excited to see what
I know. I want to go watch it. I'm trying to look up results. I should have waited and done that last, but I wanted everyone to be excited and go watch those matches. All right. So next is a show that I know and a company that I know is near and dear to your heart. And it's a Black Girl Magic, and it's happening in a few days. We're 3 days away. This is so exciting. Everyone is so pumped. Speaking of Willow, again, on the poster, and some of these matches that dropped, we got to talk about it. We got to break it down. So when we had the promoter of Black Girl Magic on, we didn't have any of the matches yet. We just talked about the new announcement that it was happening in August. And so now we actually have matches. Yes. So I'm excited. Do you want to break this down? I want to know from someone that's going to be a part of it.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for this. There's a lot of talk happening just because the first one was really cool, and so and it's closer for us, well, at least for me, to get to, and so that's a plus. But yeah, the match cards so far is really awesome. So this one is Gia Scott and Damaris Dawkins, and so I was actually very fortunate to see both ladies before at Battle Club Pro wrestle, not each other, but wrestle there. And so both of them are super awesome women wrestlers. And so I'm excited for this matchup. I think it's going to be, really entertaining between the two of them. So I'm excited. I can't wait to announce them during the match.
That's so exciting. I'm so excited for you. We also, the next one, this is exciting. We have a triple threat match here with Scarlett, Ariella Nix, and Anastasia Morningstar. Are you excited about this one? This is three women, super strong, super dynamite in the ring. I think this is going to be a highlight for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited. Ariella was super awesome. I was able to interview her during the quarantine. Super awesome. And I've seen both Anastasia and Scarlett wrestle before, and they're very different from each other. And so I think this is going to be a really interesting matchup to see with them. And then, if a triple threat match is done well, I feel like, yay, we can see what we can do in a triple threat match to see if how well this is going to play off. And so I think it's going to be amazing. All three of these ladies are like super awesome. I'm like excited. Also to announce them. I can't wait, and they've all been very supportive of me technically debuting my ring announcing duties, and so super grateful for all of them being very supportive and very, helping me out with regards to my nerves
I
about
know. It's always, I mean, ring announcing, people don't understand ring announcing is one of those skills that takes a lot of time and training, and you can't just go do it. I've been pulled in where they like something has happened and they've pulled me in, and it takes a lot of work. It's harder than you think. And don't worry, I've messed up plenty of times, and you just keep going. You just keep going, keep the show rolling. But you're such a pivotal part in the show that you kind of help make it go. But I know you'll bring the energy. I know you'll be, it's amazing having such a supportive, it sounds like it's such a supportive team and show. So that's amazing. So one of the other matches that we want to talk about is Bonesaw Brooks and Jordan Blade is another match that was announced. And Jordan Blade, I have to say, I've seen multiple times close up at Mission Pro in training, out of training, in the ring, incredible matches, brings this whole other type of athletic background to the wrestling industry. And not really someone I would mess with. And I know Bonesaw Brooks has their strategy going in, but what do you think, Katrina? Someone that like has to call this match.
Well, from what I was told when they were announcing this, a lot of people wanted to see them kind of match up, and so I've also seen them separately, both from last year's Black Girl Magic, but different matches, but then also at other events. And like Jordan, skill is like top notch, and I also like what Bonesaw brings as well, and so I think this is gonna be I feel like it's gonna be very hard hitting. uh, I feel like this is going to be one of the hard hitting matches of the show. I truly feel that, but I'm excited. Again, two opponents that I haven't seen fight each other, and so I can't wait to see what they do this Friday.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely, I love all of these matchups so far. It's going to be incredible. The other one that we're looking forward to, we have we have a tag team match here. How do you feel about this tag team? Like, we got some amazing tag teams here.
I love me some Willow. Willow is my girl, and I was very fortunate to be able to interview both her and Brooke Valentine at the Battle Club show, women's show in April, Women Crush Wednesday show. And so they're super, like, I love the energy separately, but I really love their energy together. It's just so like, oh, I love it. Even in the heels, it's just so like they're cheerful heels, and I love that about how they can pull that off and still make it work. And then Maserati and Estrella is just so good. I actually got to see them last year as well. Russell, I believe Maserati might have been pre-show last year, but she had me entertained. I remember like there was a thing she did like after she did the hair flip, and I was like, that's right, sis. Like you still talk your shit after. Like I love that she's still very well into gimmick even afterwards. And so I'm excited for this matchup. Again, thick and juicy, which is Willow and Brooke Valentine are super like awesome and super amazing. And so I think they're really gonna bring the A game. Also love some good tag team wrestling when it's done. Again, the tag team wrestling can be so entertaining, especially depending on how well teams work together. And so I'm looking forward to that one as well.
Yeah, I mean, we have Thick and Juicy 2.0 coming out, being a tag team, and then Estrella and Maserati. I mean, all of these women are incredible. What I do love about Thick and Juicy 2.0 is that, like you said, they are a happy heel tag team, right? Like they come in with such energy that like you can't not like them, but sometimes you gotta not like them because that's the way it goes sometimes. But yeah, they're a great energy. I like to see Willow doing different things like this, being in a tag team, being in different types of matches. And again, she's one of those indie wrestling stars that we see across the board week after week, putting in the work, and I love to see it. And Maserati is great too. Maserati has such an amazing brand, and she comes out, she does these incredible promos and these incredible vignettes that I love that she's done for various shows when she's in them, that she is so like into that. And I feel like you not only have to do a good promo, but you have to be good in the ring, put in your work training. And she has this whole package that is really great. And I need someone to scoop her up, right? All right. The next match, we have Karen Bam Bam. And again, one of our favorites, Trish Adora. And this is the main event on the 19th of August for Black Girl Magic. And this is, I feel like you can't get bigger than this here. I really feel like you can't get bigger than this. This is Trish Adora. I don't know. I'm blown away by this. I'm blown away by this card. How are you feeling about this main event? You get to call it. You get to call the main event.
Like last year, Thick and Juicy was, versus Trish and Jazz, and I was like super, like I couldn't talk enough about that match. It was such an awesome match, and so again, I love Trish Adora. That is my girl. She's like so amazing, so badass. Just done so much for seeing like women's wrestling, but also Black women in wrestling. And then Miss Karen Bam Bam, the Chocolate Thunder, she just, I love her. And so I actually was really hyped when they announced that this was going to be the main event, because both women are just so fabulous and they bring so much for wrestling. And so I think they're going to really put on a show. I cannot wait to announce them going in. I'm like, I feel like by then my nerves should be okay, because I'm a little nervous. Just 'cause I feel like my voice is kind of soft spoken when I'm trying to listen. I gotta project. But I cannot wait. Again, everybody's been very kind about me doing this and have been wishing me well and that I will do fine and everything. And so I'm really grateful for that. But I think this is gonna be like a really amazing match. I feel like this is gonna be a really amazing event, and I'm hoping that we can get a third and a fourth and a fifth going into 2023, 2024, etc. But I'm excited, super excited for it.
Yes, it's really exciting. So everyone, if you have not gotten your tickets, remember Black Girl Magic is happening on Friday night. Go get your tickets. Go support Katrina. Go support the whole team. And Katrina, is it being live streamed or is it just live in person?
I feel, for what I remember, it was said last, I believe that it is live and then it will be available on IWTV later on. I think that might change by Friday, but that's what I was told the last time. So
all right, so everyone go check out Black Girl Magic on socials, because that's where they'll tell you where it can be either live streamed or available after, probably on their YouTube channel or something like that. So go check it out, go support, go share. Hopefully there'll be, I'm sure there'll be some fun clips online about this weekend. So go check it out. Awesome. So next we're going to kind of shift over into NWA land. And I am going to get into some of we talked about some of those matches last week. So I'm going to just briefly cover that some of these matches are happening today, tonight. So 6:05, or it happened, 6:05 Eastern. So 5 o'clock. It happened earlier today. Camille versus Haley Shadows. And then you can go and check out the other match, which is Riley and Paula Blaze versus Chelsea Green and Angelina Love. And so I have to say, I'm not going to give spoilers yet, because I have to watch AEW Dark and this. So unfortunately, I'm not going to give any spoilers on these. So if you all enjoyed them, let us know what you think, or go check them out if you have not seen them already. So we're going to continue into NWA land. And so as you all know, the big anniversary wrestling event and pay-per-view is happening on August 27th and 28th in St. Louis. And the biggest thing that we're looking forward to is the Burke Invitational. And this is a really huge deal because the winner of the Burke Invitational is going to have a title shot on night 2 for the NWA World Women's Championship. So this is a really big deal. And so August 27th is night 1 for the Burke Invitational. So finally, Katrina, they have announced some of the participants of the Burke Invitational. The last time we spoke about 2 weeks ago, I think they only announced one person, and now they've announced a few. So we're going to talk about that because this is a big deal. So someone that was announced who has participated in the NWA before is Natalya Markova. So that's really exciting. We also have one of my favorites. We have Genocide. And I know she participated in Empower last year and is coming back to the NWA to compete in the Burke Invitational. And then we have Angelina Love. And that's exciting. I'm gonna hide this for a second because you're missing out on the cool graphics here. We have Angelina Love. We have Maddie Rankowski is coming to the NWA for the Burke Invitational. And then Max the Impaler and Missa Kate. And then is that it? Oh, Samantha Starr was one that we announced last time. So again,
Yes.
So far, those are all that have been announced for the Burke Invitational. This is a really big deal. This is for the NWA World Women's Championship title shot on night 2. So I have to say, Katrina, I'm getting excited for this one. And I want to hear, I have my thoughts on how it's all going to go down. But based off of who they've announced so far, who do you think is the number 1 contender?
Oh man, I feel like this could go a few ways because who's announced. I've been watching Natalya Markova on House of Glory, and she's the women's champion there, and so she's had some really tough opponents, and she's came out on top every time so far, and so she could very well make it and have the title shot for NWA. Missa is also somebody who I can kind of say like, maybe she'll take it. And then you got Max, and I love Max. Max is amazing, and this could very well, Max can just absolutely dominate and make it into night 2 for a title shot. So I feel like this can truly go any way because of the women that were announced, or all of them that were announced for this. But oh man, I feel like this can really go any way with the talent that has been announced so far, because you don't know who can pull out what they can pull out of the trick hat and make it to the end, to the night 2. And so I'm excited for it. But I mean, I will not be surprised. Like I want to put my money on Max, but I can also feel like I can see it go a few ways because of the women that's in this tournament.
I mean, so I have to say, like, I have some favorites that I'm kind of leaning towards. I feel like we might have some surprise swerves. I think Maddie Rankowski might have a shot at this. I think it would be a surprise, but I feel like she could do it. I think Genocide is also a big favorite. She's dominant. She's super strong. I mean, all these women are strong, but I feel like Genocide is a force to be reckoned with. And I mean, any of, actually, there is more. There's more. Katrina, I totally missed it. Here you go. Hold on, there's more. Because we have Tootie Lynn. I knew there was more. I was like, we're missing some. We have Tootie Lynn and we have Kylan King. I was like, we're missing someone. So again, this is I feel like it's anyone's shot. And I think what is so great about what they're building here at the NWA is really they're bringing all of these different backgrounds together, all these women across the indie scene that have been dominant, most of them have been in NWA before, but like this is their moment to shine. They're getting, this big pay-per-view time. And I think this tournament is going to be one of the things to talk about this weekend. And to have that title shot on day 2, this is a really, really big deal. And I'm all for it. I think it's anyone's shot. I think all these, they're all incredible. So, but I don't know if I haven't decided who I'm going to put money on yet.
Yeah, I feel like it could definitely go a few ways because of the talent that's been announced. So
exactly. And speaking of other matches that are happening that weekend, this was also announced for night 2, August 28th. We have the NWA World Women's Tag Team Championship on the line. It is a Kings Highway street fight. Pretty Empowered, who are the champions, versus the Hex, which are the former champions. I am so excited about this. I mean, we get a street fight day 2. I can't. I'm ready. I want all the trash cans. I want all the stuff. I want them on the streets of St. Louis. This is going to be great. This is going to be so great.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a really interesting match as well. I like the Hex, but I also like Pretty Empowered as well. I think they've been doing well as champions, and so this is going to be interesting. Like, could the Hex take the titles back? It could go either way, but street fighters always make things more interesting. So I think it's going to be a good I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a few weeks away, so we're gonna have to stay tuned and see what happens, because maybe the Hex gets their championship back. Who knows? Anything is possible. And then maybe we have a new NWA Women's World Champion as well. Who knows? The possibilities are all there. So next, we are going to talk about the latest show. This just happened the beginning of August, a few weeks ago, about 10 days ago. This is Capital Championship Wrestling, and this is Blood in the Sand, their big show that they had. And this, and again, Willow is all over the place, which I don't mind. So this was, this looks like this changed a little bit based off of the results. It looks like it was Willow versus Savannah Evans. So this card's this card's out of date, but if it looks like Willow Nightingale defeated Savannah Evans. So that looks like that was the results of that match. And then the next match that happened was Kayla Sparks versus Vita Von Star. And this was it was a 2 out of 3 falls match. And this was for the CCW Network title. And Vita Von Star is the champion and retained. And this was on Title Match Network, so it looks like you can go back and watch it on Title Match Network. So go check out those matches and go support CCW and the all women's promotion. The next one, that Capital Championship Wrestling match, the Renegade Twins, who are their champions, versus the Good Sisters, Lizzie Blair and Peyton Blair, and they are twins. They are sisters. So there was twins against twins, and the Renegade Twins retained. So they retained their championships. And again, another all-women's promotion. And I think the last one, real quick, we had... do I have those results? Yes, I do. I have, this was a single match. So Gabby Ortiz defeated JC Storm. And those are those matches. And then it looks like Rebecca Scott defeated Katie Arquette. That was another match as well that occurred on August 6th. So that was a lot of matches. So you guys can go catch an Untitled match. Katrina, did you hear anything bubbling on social media about this show? Did you see any fun clips? What did you think about these matchups? Because I know we talked about this show coming up, and I know that it was a big deal to have another all women's promotion.
Yeah, I got to see a few clips. From what I saw, really good matches. Like again, the people on the card, the women on the card. So again, you got Willow, you have Savannah, you have Gabby Ortiz, you have like it was a solid card. And so from what I saw, they did their thing. Again, it's always good to have women's matches, but even more important, I think having women's just having all women promotions, I think it's necessary, just because I feel like those promotions are more geared to showcasing the women in a better way, or showcasing them the way they should be showcased, instead of being like that one women's match on the card. And so I actually like that they have this promotion. I love, again, that Willow is everywhere. As everybody is saying, Willow is definitely grinding. She's one of the people who pops up everywhere, and working different matches, and I love her, and I'm hoping that, again, I want more people to know who she is. And so hopefully, fingers crossed that she can get a really major signing on her end. But I thought that from what I saw, it was really good, and I'm really glad we have this promotion showcasing women's wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of, all of these, I'm catching up. So I'm catching up on a lot of shows because there is so much to do. So this is one of those shows I'm catching up on. I saw some clips. I saw some reactions to some of the big moments. And so I love to take a deep dive of these shows and really give all of these women their due and their shout out, and really see how these matches get broken down. And I love to see it. So next up is, I know we talked a lot about these matches last week, so I just wanted to really remind everyone that we have another huge pay-per-view for Mission Pro Wrestling. If you have not heard of us, we're all women's company with some men's exhibition matches. Let me preface it. We have some men's exhibition matches, but we have some really big championship matches happening this weekend. We have Bougie Reality, who's coming back for their first title defense. And these are the Good Sisters, but they're actually the Goons of the Scenic City now. So they're rebranding a little bit. So they had to think about it, they had 2 title matches within a few weeks of each other, which is really, really cool to see. And so we'll be seeing them in San Antonio this weekend. And then the second really big championship match happening is Holodead versus Jasmine Allure. Holodead is an MPW champion. Jasmine Allure is a former MPW champion for about 4 minutes, and she's coming back to fight another day. So we have a very exciting weekend ahead for women's wrestling. In addition, real quick, this is Genocide versus Kylan King, and Kylan King has a really huge Toni Storm match this week on AEW. I wanted to give her a shout out, and she was, as we saw, she had NWA coming up, and so she has some amazing matches coming up. She's really just been so driven, really working towards something. And this Genocide versus Kylan King match, Thunder Rosa reshared and said that this is a #1 contendership match. So whoever is the Mission Pro champion, whoever wins this match will be the #1 contender. So that's a really big deal. So there's a lot of things happening in women's wrestling. I mean, we have so many incredible matches planned we have Black Girl Magic on Friday. We have Mission Pro on Saturday. There's a bunch of AEW and NWA matches coming up. There's so much to watch. So much. I'm seeing those comments. There's so much to watch, and I am so ready for it. I'm so excited for it. So go. You can, if you don't know, you can watch Mission Pro on Title Match Network this weekend starting at 6:00. And there's going to be tons of matches. So go check it out and support all of these promotions. Support all of these companies, support the independent wrestlers. That's a big thing. Support them. Go buy their merchandise. Go buy their t-shirts. if you want to support Women's Wrestling Talk, we have t-shirts, we have merchandise. Go to www.talkpod.com and follow us, read all of our news. We have articles coming out every day, multiple times a day. We have a great group of writers that are on the pulse of what's happening in women's wrestling across the industry. And it's important to support us. So that was my little spiel, Katrina. I don't know if you have anything else to say, but I know you'll be there. I'm sure you'll be sharing some tweets and news about this weekend. I'll be sharing stuff as well. So we'll have people, supporting women's wrestling across the board this weekend. So I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna try. I feel like I'm getting myself together during all of that, but I will have somebody there with me, so I'm gonna have him just take photos for me and just have them so I can just start posting when I have an opportunity to post. And I believe Stephanie will also be there. She's one of our hosts as well, and also with me on NXT when we do NXT. And so I believe she's supposed to be there as well. I'm not exactly sure if she's doing backstage or commentary, but it should be awesome. Glad to see her again in person, and I think it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be a pretty decent day on weather-wise. So I'm excited for it. I feel like it's going to be amazing. And yes, we do have all the articles on www.talkpod.com. And we do have Hispanic Heritage Month coming up soon, which we will have a bunch of also articles showcasing some of the fabulous women in wrestling that are part of the Latino Hispanic community. And so I can't wait for that. It's going to be super awesome to highlight some of the women part of that community.
Yeah, it's so exciting. I love how we're going to have multiple Women's Wrestling Talk hosts out there making magic happen. So thank you all so much for joining us for another episode of Dishing Indies. We'll be talking more independent wrestling every other Tuesday, and keep a lookout for any more announcements and if you have promotions that you want us to follow that we didn't talk about, please let us know. Please message us, tag us on Twitter, let us know which independent wrestlers you want us to star or highlight, and we're all about it. We want to support and celebrate those that are working hard. So thank you so much. Remember, follow Women's Wrestling Talk on all social platforms, and here on Twitch, follow, like, and subscribe. And thank you all so much for watching the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on